Try something new at the one. So you don't have a vision after all. Seems like I've mistaken you for someone.
At the very least, you should make sure you've got the right person. No, wait! Even when you've got...
Have you ever met someone by the name of Kaedehara Kazuha? He carries a sword just like you. I've also heard that he possesses an animo vision. That's none of your business. Never mind. You don't look like you know anything anyway. I'm wasting my time.
What the heck is this guy's problem? Coming around here, waving that weird sword in our faces, and he didn't even apologize. Seems like a real nutcase. Well, one thing's for sure. No way are we telling him anything about Kazuha. Hey! Don't be mean! I'm on smart lots of the time! Anyway, just to be on the safe side, we should go find Kazuha right away and tell him to watch his back. Oh? What kind of hunch? A special connection? You mean beyond already knowing each other? Yeah, maybe a little. But then again, most people look pretty much the same once they start fighting, so that doesn't really prove anything. Anyway, there's no time to lose. Let's go tell Kazuha so we won't get into any danger. Paimon heard that the Crux fleet is stocking up in Rito at the moment. Let's look for him there. Kazuha is.
You're looking for Kazuha too, huh? Guess he must have done something impressive after all. Well, we took the small vessels into Rito on a routine supply run, only this time, as soon as we entered the harbor, we ran into a huge crowd of Inazumans, all of them wanting to know about Kazuha. If it's because of that battle on Nizuchi Beach, Captain Beto had a great run there too, but I don't see her getting this kind of attention. Kazuha keeps to himself most of the time. In fact, there are times when he doesn't even listen to the captain, but she just laughs it off.
Oh, so you still don't know what he did?
I've heard bits and pieces. Something about him blocking the Raiden Shogun's Muso no Hitotachi. Is it really as big a deal as everyone's making it out to be? Really? Wow. When you put it like that, it all makes sense. In that case, his newfound stardom is well deserved. He was called away earlier by some people from the Tenryou Commission. They said they had something important to discuss with him. I thought they'd come to arrest him at first. Turns out they couldn't have been friendlier to him. Seems like they really respect the guy.
Just a little while ago, this would have been completely unimaginable. we'll go pay a visit to the Tenryou Commission.
All right then. I'll just stay here and carry on trying to fend off the crowd.
Oh? It's you.
Greetings. We were just discussing the repealing of the Vision Hunt Decree. Since you're here, you're very welcome to listen in on the conversation. We invited Mr. Kaidahara here to extend a gesture of goodwill on behalf of the Shogunate. Your hard work has secured for us the agreeable state of affairs that we now enjoy. Also, I've been granted the chance to correct my clan's past mistakes, and for that, I'm deeply grateful. The Almighty Shogun has issued a large array of directives aimed at resolving, or at least easing, the tensions that have built up over the years. The Tri-Commission has made the recommendation to use this opportunity to restore the honor of the Kaidahara name. Regarding the history of the Kaidahara clan, I trust that you're already somewhat informed? In short, there was once a group of select bladesmiths who served the Shogun directly, responsible for upholding and further developing the traditional blade forging arts of the Almighty Shogun. The Kaidahara clan belonged to this class. But there came a time when some of these bladesmiths revolted and fled to Snezhnaya. Both the Kaidahara and Kamisato clans were held accountable for lax oversight and entered a period of great turmoil. We later learned that the whole misadventure had been secretly orchestrated by the Fatui. Attributing all of the blame to the Kamisato and Kaidahara clans was neither proper nor just. Considering Mr. Kaidahara has once more made an outstanding contribution to Inazuma, the Almighty Shogun believes he should not only be rewarded for his achievements, but also receive recompense for the excessive punishment borne by his clan in the past. In the interest of preventing further harassment of the Bladesmith clans by the Fatui, we chose not to publicly release the findings of our investigations into these matters. We trust you can understand why this was necessary.
This is a true honor. I am delighted to be in a position to receive the goodwill of the Almighty Shogun and the Shogunate at large. However, would I be correct to assume that this magnanimous gesture does not come without some strings attached?
I can assure you that nothing could be further from the truth. We seek only to correct a past injustice. With the Kaidahara clan's reputation and occupation restored, the Kaidaharas will be bladesmiths once more, and your wanderings will finally come to an end. You will be able to lead a safe and prosperous life in Inazuma City with the Almighty Shogun's blessing and full support of the Shogunate.
I have grown accustomed to life among the elements. I fear I would no longer feel at home behind the tall walls of a stately abode. Yet my ancestors did indeed take great pride in the name of Kaidahara, and the art of blade making for which it stood. I do have a responsibility to restore their honor.
I sense some hesitation in your words. Should you accept this offer, I imagine many of the malicious rumors currently circulating through the populace will disappear.
Malicious rumors? Oh What we heard on the way here was so much praise that we almost wondered whether there was another Kaidahara Kazuha in town.
Well, to some, the Muso no Hitotachi is something that can never be defeated. They cannot accept the idea that Mr. Kaedahara really parried the Shogun's strike. Also, eyewitnesses saw him using the power of Electro in addition to that of Animo. As a result, the falsehood that Kaedahara Kazuha was using a delusion began to spread.
What? But that doesn't make sense. Using a delusion turns you old and frail, and Kazuha still looks fine.
That is correct. However, to some people, the idea of a single person wielding two elements at once is a more inconceivable notion still.
This is just one of many similar rumors. I am very uncomfortable with being the subject of public discussion, no matter whether it brings suspicion or stardom my way. But perhaps if the Shogunate is willing to publicly support me, this situation will blow over more quickly.
This is precisely why I encourage you to give our offer some serious thought. It stands to benefit all of us.
Please allow me some time to consider. In fact, let us put this discussion on hold for the moment. Well then, what brings the two of you here?
Yikes! We nearly forgot about the most important thing!
Why would such a dangerous individual be looking for me? No. This puzzles me as much as it does you. My fighting forms were taught to me by my family, based on techniques originally developed for blade testing. We undergo rigorous training to standardize every motion the blade is put through, so that each can be fairly assessed for quality. Over time, these techniques came to form something of a Kaedahara sword art, focused on blade testing, but with a full repertoire of combat forms. Those forms are quite different from the more practical ones typically used by samurai in battle. So it's hard to imagine that the similarity you speak of was coincidence alone.
All the more reason to watch your back! This guy was a serious nutcase.
Indeed. He sounds highly aggressive. Anyone he targets is at risk of serious injury, or worse.
In that case, I will send some men out immediately to search for him.
Thank you. I must say I am now very curious about this matter, and I will also need some time to consider your offer. I will first join the Traveler in investigating the one who attacked him, then give you a conclusive answer upon my return.
Very well. Please stay safe.
Come on. Let's go and track down your aggressor.
The detective agency knows the most about what goes on in town. Let's see what Ryuji has to... Hey there! We'd like to ask you a quick question. Do you know if anyone around here has been looking for him? For Kaedahara Kazuha, we mean.
Aha! So this is the renowned Mr. Kaedehara. I've heard a lot about you. It is an honor to finally meet you today.
You are too kind. We are currently investigating an assault and would appreciate any help you can offer.
Oh? You were targeted in an assault? Let me think. I can't seem to recall anything of immediate interest. Mr. Kaedehara is currently the talk of the town, so there are always a lot of people looking for him. To be honest with you, our detective agency has recently been receiving many inquiries from people wishing to obtain Mr. Kaedehara's personal information. Some of them were offering us millions of mora just to gather the information they want. If these were more legitimate commissions, Sango would have snapped them up in an instant.
Millions? Of mora? Whoa! Oh, wait, even at that price, you probably still shouldn't.
Please, accept my thanks for looking out for my privacy.
Of course. No matter what, we only take on legitimate cases. We don't make our money by revealing details of other people's day-to-day life just for the sake of it.
Have I been muted this whole time?
Sorry, I got a little off topic. What I'm really trying to say is, it doesn't surprise me that a complete stranger is looking for Mr. Kaedehara. But I wouldn't know where to begin if we want to connect this with an assault.
Then let's put that connection aside for
Bro,
now.
have I been muted
Have
this
there been
entire
any other
time?
attacks or similar incidents recently that stand out as particularly unusual? The Tenryou Commission had very few leads, and I thought you might
Oh
have some
my
information
God.
from different sources.
It's true that the commissioners aren't clued up about every little thing that goes on out in the streets. But typically, it's only the most trivial events that manage to escape their attention. If anyone had been out there attacking people, that would be assault, in which case the Tenryou Commission would absolutely get involved.
That does make sense. Uh-oh. Looks like the trail's already run cold.
I still find it difficult to believe that whoever attacked you hasn't been causing any trouble elsewhere. Few people possess your prowess in battle. So unless you were the first person he targeted, someone is certain to have been hurt by now. I am well aware of your talents. There is no need to be. It would cause me great grief to see for the poor victim.
Don't worry, we'll
It seems you are every bit the selfless hero they make you out to be, Mr. Kaedehara. Surely this same concern for your fellow man is what drove you to fearlessly raise your blade against the
It's still
almighty
there,
Shogun.
it's still there, Max, or no?
You flatter me. Truth be told,
You are much too humble. Don't worry, I completely understand your— Oh, actually, there was one strange incident over the last few days. It doesn't involve an attack, though. Let me tell you about it just in case.
sure. During times like
All right then. Recently, one of them is a pretty well-known collector, surnamed Nagato. The other, Amenoma Yuya, is a samurai from the Amenoma clan.
Amenoma. Now there's a familiar name.
Right. Yuya is the nephew of Amenoma Togo, the owner of Amenoma Smithy. Two grown men going missing at the same time. I recalled this because Amenoma Yuya is also an accomplished martial artist who is skilled with the blade. Perhaps he is the one you are looking for.
Understood, though it seems highly unlikely to me. I neither know this man, nor do I have any idea why he may wish to attack me.
Sure, can't hurt. We never know what we might find out along the way.
Thank you, Ryuji. We'll start by making—
Sounds good. All
Ah, if it isn't Kaedehara Kazuha.
Yes, the Kaedehara and Amenoma clans were both members of the Raiden Gokaden. After I returned to Inazuma, I visited Mr. Amenoma to pay my respects. Let me quickly explain. The Raiden Gokaden was the collective term for the 5 most acclaimed bladesmithing arts in Inazuma. The techniques of blade making were personally bequeathed to the Raiden Gokaden by the almighty Shogun, and over time, further honed and enhanced by the most talented craftsmen. Unfortunately, a series of events led to the gradual decline of many clans in the bladesmithing trade. Today, only the Amenoma clan has kept its art alive.
So sad.
It is a great pity indeed. In the old days, we each had our specialties. And just as iron sharpens iron, so too did we learn much from each other. As an example, the Amenoma art strives to emulate the abiding patience and there is nothing mystical to our work. There is only practice, day in and day out, until both body and mind have memorized the craft, turning each motion of every technique into an intrinsic part of the bladesmith's life. As for the art of the Kaedehara clan, I believe it's called the Ishin.
That's right. Ishin art strives for complete harmony between blade and mind, from the moment that for only a blade thus forged can capture and convey its maker's thoughts and feelings, and eventually become an extension of its wielder's will.
Indeed. Most samurai choose their blades, but an Ishin blade, you are, without a doubt, the most worthy wielder of an Ishin blade. It gladdens my heart to see that although the Kaedehara clan has fallen on hard times,
You overestimate me. My actions are guided by my own personal sentiments, not by any noble act. But let's get back on topic. The purpose of our visit today, we hope to assist with the investigation. It may turn...
Ah, yes. My nephew. He didn't say a word before he left, but I've done what I can so far. Worrying is futile.
We heard that there was a collector involved in the disappearance too.
Yes. On the morning that Yuya went missing, he gave me a very cryptic... I believe he went to collect the item from Mr. Nagato after that. Yes. Strange, isn't it? If I had to guess,
Hello?
it must have been some kind of rare weapon. Otherwise, there would have been no reason for him to get my hopes up. He's never been particularly interested in blade forging, but has always had a fondness for blade. He is extraordinarily talented in martial...
Truth be told, we have some information that you may, based on the evidence we have gathered so far.
What? No, he is humble and kind. Even his training is done with the goal of calming his mind. He has...
Is that...
Yes. If there's one thing I can say for certain, it's that Yuya would never draw it. But, with that said, it's equally out of character for him to just disappear, with neither farewell nor fair warning. I also cannot know what course of action he might be capable of if coerced, or otherwise compelled by circumstances unbeknownst to me. Anyway, should you find him, please let me know as soon as possible.
Don't worry. You have our word.
From the sound of that, Paimon doesn't think Yuya was the one who attacked us as well.
Yes.
Oh shit.
It sounds as if something happened when the two men... Let's pay a visit.
I shall be right back. All right, I got me some food.
I'm very sorry, but we cannot afford to pay what we owe right now. My husband has gone missing, and I'm still trying to find him.
No, you misunderstand us. We are here to help with the investigation. We'd like to ask you some questions about Mr. Nagato's disappearance, if we may.
Ah, I see. I thought the debt collectors had come to visit again. I'm sorry you have to see me in this dreadful state. Has some new information come out? Do you know where he's gone?
I'm afraid we don't have any new information at the moment. We're still trying to find out as much as we can to inform our search. With this in mind, can we perhaps ask some questions about your family's current situation?
For example, Paimon's struggling to understand why a collector would be strapped for Mora.
That's a long story. Ever since I've known him, he's been an avid collector of all sorts of things. He'd always get so animated when he was showing them to me. I knew nothing about the items myself, but seeing how enthusiastic and excited they made him, I was happy to believe that they were just extremely important to him. Everything was fine when we first got married, but as time went by, things changed for the worse.
Uh-oh, what happened?
He lost his sense of restraint. He started buying more and more things, and even resorted to borrowing money just so he could pay for them. Our expenses really spiraled out of control when he started getting interested in weapons. It was awful. There were days when he'd spend hours down at the warehouse, admiring his weapons even as debt collectors were descending upon our house. He wouldn't sell them, wouldn't even touch them. Just sat there staring at them like he was in a trance. I'm happy he has a hobby, and I'm willing to support him, but making ends meet has to come first. I've tried talking to him about it so many times, but he never listens. On the last day that I saw him, I gave him an ultimatum. I said, if he refused to sell his collectibles and pay off his debts, I would divorce him and take the children with me.
Whoa!
And that led to an argument.
Actually, it didn't. Generally, he's a quiet man who likes to go with the flow. On most things, he leaves the decision-making to me. You must understand, I never would have dreamed of threatening him with divorce if the debts hadn't pushed our family to the brink. After I said those words, he froze and was silent for a long time. When he finally spoke, he awkwardly mumbled that he would pick out a few items to sell. His voice was so meek and pitiful that I felt an urge to take everything back. But then what? If I didn't draw the line, what would happen to our family? Had I not indulged his bad habits, we wouldn't have found ourselves in such a predicament. And I also don't know if he had actually come to his senses, or if he was simply angry with me. The next thing I heard was that our warehouse had caught fire, and both he and the buyer had gone missing.
I see. I understand. Amenoma Yuya came to purchase a weapon from Mr. Nagato. During the sale, a fire broke out at the warehouse, and both men disappeared.
At first, I assumed they must have gotten into an argument over the price. But my husband has never been one to negotiate. He never even haggles when he's out buying groceries, so it's hard to imagine him getting into a fierce argument.
Maybe he was feeling the pressure from the debts?
I don't know. He just disappeared after the warehouse burned down. Perhaps he's too afraid to come home now that all his collectibles have been lost in the fire, and he's got no way to pay off our debts. Even though I'm still a little mad at him, we're a family, and I want us to face our family's crisis together. As long as he's willing to turn over a new leaf, I know we can work things out.
Please don't get upset. There could be more to this situation than meets the eye. If collecting things is a habit that Mr. Nagato had his whole life, it is quite unusual for this habit to change so drastically over a short period. But the information we gathered from the other side suggests Amenoma Yuya is also a mild-mannered man who would not be likely to start an argument. This situation is getting a little confusing.
A little confusing? More like completely mystifying.
Let's try a change of scenery and see if we can piece together what we've learned. Rest assured, we'll notify you if we find anything.
Thank you so much. I just want him to come home.
Based on the information we've gathered so far, I can only surmise that the sales meeting between the two men was somehow the catalyst for their disappearance. The fire at the warehouse likely played a part in how the situation unfolded, though its exact role is a mystery. Do you have any thoughts?
Well, Paimon was thinking that maybe someone accidentally knocked over an oil lamp and, nope, never mind. Paimon's brain needs to rest for a while. Over to you.
Someone's brain always needs to rest. What you mean?
An interesting explanation. I was also considering this possibility. Amenoma Yuya is an expert on swords. He could have noticed some problematic details about Mr. Nagato's collectibles. Maybe he recognized a blade as a fake, or a well-known stolen item. Either way, after arguing about it, the two men agreed to hide the truth of this matter. They thought a fire would destroy everything. But then the Tenryo Commission began investigating and uncovered some incriminating details, so they fled to protect their secrets. But it's a far-fetched theory. I can't imagine how they would have been able to reach an agreement. One fact that I keep coming back to is that Amenoma Yuya is polite and well-mannered, while Mr. Nagato is introverted and passive. Neither seems like the type of person who is inclined towards initiating conflict. Mr. Nagato, being heavily in debt, is also the only one of them with the potential motive to disappear after the fire. The more I ponder it, the more puzzling it becomes. Just what could have happened there? Right. Although the time frame seems to broadly match, no other details that we've learned seem to link the two events together. Amenoma Yuya lacks a key distinguishing feature of the attacker, namely that he is principally a practitioner of the blade testing techniques of Amenoma art, not those of the combat-oriented Ishin art.
Darn! We thought we could get two birds with one stone here, but at this rate, it's starting to look like a wild goose chase.
Let's keep going. since we've come this far. If we can solve the case, both Mr. Amenoma and Mrs. Nagato will be able to get some closure.
Okay, but where should we go now?
Let's head out of the city and check out the warehouse. There's still a chance we may be able to find some shreds of evidence.
Uh,
Wait. I hear something ominous in the wind.
Oh! This must be another one of those sounds that only you can hear. As sketchy as that whole thing seems, you did put it to good use when we were chasing down that vision thief at Beto's tournament, so...
Now I'm picking up a strong scent in addition to the sound. It's right around here somewhere.
But there's nothing here.
It's gone now, but I can still sense the direction it left in. It felt very much like that ancient presence in Inazuma, the remnants of the Tatarigami. Indeed, but this unexpected spring of inauspicious energy may prove to be of benefit to our investigation. We should remain vigilant and approach slowly.
So it's an underground warehouse.
The force is definitely coming from down below. The source of the Tatarigami energy has long since left this place, but the residue it left behind still hasn't dissipated completely. Judging from the concentration, I would have to conclude that the Tatarigami source resided here for a very long time.
Mrs. Nagato said her husband used to hang around the warehouse by himself a lot.
It could well be that he was already under the influence of Tatarigami energy at that time. From what I've been told, Tatarigami does not turn all upon whom it preys into violent monsters, but most will develop a stubborn streak upon being exposed to the Tatarigami's unfulfilled will. Their interests become fanatical obsessions. Mr. Nagato had an interest in collecting to begin with. The influence of Tatarigami could explain why he became an obsessive hoarder, amassing more and more possessions, even as he put himself in grave debt.
meow.
So what should we do now? Go down and take a look?
Step back. I'll open the door and take a look inside. If we don't open this door, we can move no closer to the truth.
Meow, meow, bitch. What's good,
You
Max?
needn't worry. Both of us have faced far greater dangers than this. Relatively speaking, the risk here is trivial.
What's down there?
Everything's buried in debris. I can't see anything. It looks like the fire caused a cave-in, reducing the entire warehouse to rubble.
That was too scary. Paimon was so
Oh yeah,
shocked
bro. I
that
watched that trailer.
warehouse
All right.
Man was about to jump out at us.
I was busting a
All
nut
we
half
can
the
do
time.
now is keep searching in the direction that the Tatarigami energy's source left this place. Two ordinary humans, entangled with the Tatarigami. I fear much misfortune. Yes, let's go. If nothing else, it's vital that we find out where this Tatarigami energy is coming from. Quiet your mind and focus on what you sense around you. Perhaps you too will perceive its ominous presence.
Now that they've confirmed that all characters will be able to dive underwater, I need to get Kokomi. Oh, that was deeper water be dead. But you do not understand. Wait, what? Hornier?
From this point, the trail appears to split into two.
Bro, I
The
said I need to
main
get
source
Kokomi
of
so
the
I can see her
Tatarigami
swimming.
energy
What you
continued on
thinking
into the
about?
distance, but a small portion remained here, and seems to be dissipating.
Put your man out of the gutter, boy.
Whoa! Look at all those hilly churls. They're acting really strangely.
Something seems to be drawing their attention. Let's take a closer look.
Everyone hold in.
Illusion shattered!
The wind knows me. It's
Well.
by the looks of
You know, I'm
a wet
horny, so I
one.
busted him multiple
Let's
times.
take a look. According to this letter, a conflict arose. Yuya started the fire that destroyed the warehouse and wounded Mr. Nagato in the fight. Mr. Nagato kept chase as long as he could.
So,
He was not only mortally wounded, but also under the heavy influence of Tatarigami. Add to that whatever traces there may have been of his fate beyond after this point. They've since been disturbed by the hilly churls. Yes. Right now, we need to if Amenoma Yuya is attacking other people indiscriminately.
right. So let's get moving.
I wouldn't be surprised if he, too, fell prey to... For a practitioner of the martial arts, all the clues that at first seemed I have a hypothesis that, if it's correct, not only explains the series of
Wait. You figured it out?
I believe so. But it's something of an outlet. On with the search.
You know, that trailer had me. That trailer was something else. What you most excited for?
Time to go.
Ah!
He seems to have stayed
Why here? Is there any...
I'm not sure. But on Show yourself! It's no use hiding
The
anymore.
lore. Oh, it's this fucker.
Kaedehara Kazuha. It's you, at last.
Aha! What's your problem, huh? What could you possibly have...
Indeed, there should be no enmity between us. But what if instead of facing Amenoma Yuya, we are in fact facing the blade in his hand?
That looks like a corrupted version of Musonoki Totachi.
Now that you mention it, it is giving off a strange light. Whoa, whoa! Surely you...
Tatarigami energy often lodges itself within physical objects, then works to subtly affect any living organisms in its vicinity. The blade has resided in Mr. Nagato's warehouse for many years, or rather as a means to occupy.
You're sharper than I thought. Many, many years ago, I was forged by a famed bladesmith of
What's
the
good, Mason? How you doing?
tradition. I was his pride and joy. In me, he placed all his hopes and dreams. As a descendant of the Kaedehara clan, you should be able to guess our...
I presume it has something to do...
Indeed. At that point in time, he failed to live up to the Raiden Shogun's expectations. He was a bladesmith of great renown, a master of his craft. There was nothing... And sure enough, in the end, he achieved what he had set out to do. All of his life's work, He not only bestowed upon me the greatest of strength, but also endowed me
Are
with
you
a
new to Genshin?
consciousness
How
of
new we
my
talking?
own.
Like you never played it or you just started?
In her conceit, the Raiden Shogun lost not only the single most perfect blade in the entire world, but also in
So, swords?
The people of the time in which I was born never believed I had that kind of power. They saw me as a mere blade, a sharp and well-crafted one, but in all other respects an ordinary weapon. But that gave me the opportunity to take... After the death of my creator, I decided to leave Snezhnaya and began my long quest to return to the distant land of Inazuma. Moving, I seek but one thing: to face the full force of the Raiden Shogun's blade and prove my power, the might of Ishin art.
Ah, so Amenoma Yuya was not your first victim. Tell me, what happens to
hidden
those you
treasure
possessed
ruin.
when
Oh, thanks for
you
the
finished
sub.
using them?
Hosts? Who
Hey
cares
Max,
what
which one was the
happens to
hidden
them?
treasure ruin?
They are but tools that serve my mission. When they got tired, or injured, or unusable, I hopped to the next one in line. All I needed them for was...
You're awful.
After I returned to Inazuma, I decided to bide my time in Nagato's at long last. I'm approaching my journey's destiny. Kaedehara Kazuha, you stood against the Raiden Shogun's Muso no Hitotachi. There can be no other to serve as my host for what is to come. Now, give your body over to me!
Bro, that's never gonna work. You tell somebody to give me your body. Like, bro, take me out to dinner first. Ooh, shit, wrong column.
There is no escape.
I'll rewrite history!
Solidify! This is order!
Into the wind.
Grow.
To me!
Now you shall
Oh, that quest. I don't think I even did that one. But if you got no questions, just ask me, my boy. I'm here to help.
Or I will strike you down too!
Your bluff's fooling no one.
Lost. I can never lose, even if you defeat me here. He is but a puppet that can be replaced. The end result is the same. I will end this wretch's life before you can lift a finger. And even if I were to lose my physical form, it is but a small set by any means necessary, and any...
Your fighting style. It is in, but from your movements, I sense only hatred and arrogance.
Really? You can tell.
Is it
all
a main
that
story
just from
quest?
his moves?
It might be a main
As
quest, and I
I've
just forgot I did it.
mentioned before, the forms of Ishin art convey the user's thought. Since the blade is currently possessing Amenoma Yuya's body, its movements, if you ask me, the mania is probably due to your...
Are you trying to claim that I am on his deathbed? He passed to me all of Ish in that regard. Why?
Because all of that is in the... I've been wondering why you've not caused more trouble in all the years... Now that I've seen inside your mind... After all the time that's passed, you have grown weak. To the point that you are now on...
Oh, that's right.
Only when Mr. Nagato witnessed his wife's distress and Well, that brings me to my second point. There's a despair in you that is so strong. You were determined to fulfill your maker's ambition, whatever the cost. But this ambition is too grand. I think you realized your limitations long ago. The more you clenched your teeth and pressed forward,
AR7?
the greater your fear of losing everything you had achieved. But the way I see it, what began as an ambition has long since...
What would you know about any of this? I'm just...
You returned to Inazuma to prove the unparalleled brilliance of Ishin art. Even if you were to sever that divine light, is the...
You...
Sure, you inherited the secrets of Ishin art. But even as you made... How could you possibly unleash the full potential...
Silence, you blabbering... I must achieve my goal. I will concede that you are most perceptive. You see...
And you should face reality.
Damn.
Easy for you to say. Facing reality offers me nothing. I have no need of anything that would stand in my way. Not hesitation, not self-reflection, and certainly not your so-called reality. is pointless to argue further.
How stubbornly you I do not believe for a second that you can challenge the almighty Shogun.
What? Surely you're not planning to...
Very well. Then find yourself some enemies with whom you wish to cross once we have dealt with them.
And as for your end of the bargain, if you lose...
Don't do this, Kazuha!
Do it.
This is the only way to save Amenoma Yuya. If we don't, the Cursed Blade's strength is currently very weak, and I sense he's hesitating. The power of the Tatarigami lies in intensifying existing obsessions. This is the reason, even if things take a turn, we have a chance here to save an innocent victim.
Your disdain for me betrays your woeful ignorance. I agreed to this bet now.
Kazuha became the riding shogun.
Kazuha?
I felt a little dizzy at first. It's all right. So far, I will.
What should we do next?
We find some enemies. Although this blade has endured much turmoil, if a blade built for Ishin art cannot enter a state of... If he wants to avoid reality, then we need to fight.
Wait a minute! Since the Takasukasa clan abandoned that secret base...
All right.
What about Amenoma Yuya?
The blade says he'll let Amenoma Yuya trail us silently.
Are we sure this is a good idea? Okay,
Alright. Go to the blade testing. What the Nah. They should have let Kazuha keep the sword. Nah, leave Paimon alone, bro. Leave Paimon alone. Paimon doesn't deserve this hate and slander. Here again. Oh, my eyes. Where's my team?
Leave everything on this journey to me.
Let's get down to business.
The wind knows it. Time to go.
She's comedic relief.
It's my lucky day.
As one with wind and cloud.
How are you feeling?
I'm all right. The blade is performing largely as I expected. Having gone so, though he's making every effort to persevere,
Something else on...
How strange. Let's keep going.
Wait till you get to the quest where Paimon starts crying. It'll really tug your heartstrings. You know which quest I'm talking about, Max?
Let's get down to business.
Clouds
How's this?
The birds call into the wind.
Bro, careful, Paimon might kill you with her primordial wrath.
can sense that his strength is slowly fading away. He cannot hold out much longer.
But what would that...
I will be careful with it. He also said he's still trying to achieve his...
Hi there, Eleanor. Welcome to the stream.
Time to go.
Ah! Listen! Don't underestimate the primordial wrath, Jesus.
Into the wind. The wind knows.
She'll take all your moron and eat all your food.
Are you okay? It looked like you were...
Yes. And it looks...
The sheen's grown a bit dimmer again.
Perhaps this time, we'll finally have a chance to see his true...
True form? What are you talking about? Is this the same blade as before?
God damn.
It looks like a piece of junk.
If you choose to continue in the state you're in, you wouldn't even be able to beat samurai. Maybe you did truly wield power to rival the Shogun's light when first forged. But the long journey from Snezhny, it barely needs stating anymore. Your ambition is a flight of fancy. I finally figured out why it was that you agreed to my bet. You wanted to reach a state of harmony with me. For perhaps then you would still be able to wield commendable power. But regrettably, we are nothing alike. I will never understand your obstinacy and cruelty, nor can I empathize with the one who made you.
Bro, she go snatch your apples.
The one who truly understood you had already passed away by the time you were born.
Huh? What's that?
There they are! Take them down!
Where do they keep coming? Yup.
Don't worry, it's just...
Let me try. I'm ready!
Ah!
Into the wind.
Jesus, Jesus. Ah!
One with nature. Into the wind.
You got other food apart from apples. What about eggs?
You fought way better with your own sword.
You are a true Kaedehara in flesh. No one knew anything of my story throughout my trap. I thought that if I could achieve Ishin harmony with you.
But in this too, you have...
Indeed. No matter how hard, too much time has passed. My physical state is poor and without proper maintenance. Yours is the blade that took on the Muso no Hitotachi.
Actually, this is just a generic blade that I picked up during my
It's
travels.
eggs, but you don't make them, you pick them up.
What?
Forging and maintenance are both important for a blade. This blade has traveled the land with me for many years. Skill, blade, determined. There is something else I must tell you.
I'd have to check.
Though your maker may not have been aware, your ability to possess your own consciousness to Tarigami is a malevolence from the ancient past. Though you tried to cooperate with me while I was wielding you.
I sensed it, but...
I resisted its temptations because I wanted to save Amenoma Yuya. But I do not know whether I feel a great sense of regret for you. Since you embarked on a journey, the moment you embarked on this journey, you lost the only person who could have ever unleashed. You have known this for a long time. It is the true source of your despair.
He gave me everything. How could I possibly... I said to him, do not...
Bro, I know how you can not die. Just don't take damage. Just dodge. Or get
I believe
Zhongli.
our bet is now settled. I have not...
Where are you going, Kazuha?
He now has neither the ability nor the motivation. When I touched the hilt for the first time, It's as if a bladesmith lay quietly on the bed. His frail a newly forged blade lay by his side.
Wow.
Indeed. While in exile in Snezhnaya, the bladesmith eventually he spent the rest of his life in the forge, not to vent his frustration and hatred, but to atone for his actions. He felt intense regret at being tricked by the Fatui, but he could never again return, so he instructed this sentient blade to find a way back to Inazuma, no matter how long or how hard the journey. All he wanted to show was that they once shone brilliantly as blades.
So that's what... After that, the blacksmith's intentions were worked by the
Right. I believe the bladesmith might never have known that the power he worked with was that this blade has committed unforgivable atrocities. But yes, time would not wait or stop because of his determination. He seems to have calmed down.
What was the question marks, boy?
When I look back at the past, I can remember I once told him that I would pay any price to fulfill his, but darkness and slaughter numb the mind. Over time, I lost. Not only did I fail to fulfill his ambition.
Yeah, just dodge.
You are finally seeing reality clearly.
Since we agreed to the terms of the bet, I will honor the agreement, but I still cannot bring myself to force. So, may.
Hey! Now you're adding your...
It has to be done in this order. At least hear what I have to say. My physical form, as well as the knowledge.
His attitude... What do you think, Kazuha? Should we give him a chance?
Let's hear it.
Thank you all. When I was... Alas, after that, he never rose. Nor have I ever had the chance to prove myself in battle since. My fights were devoid of any noble meaning. They were merely the next step in my never-ending journey. The next in a You are a fine warrior.
Oh?
I will release Ame no Mayuya and You must have plenty of reason.
Understood. Then let...
I see. I utterly despise him and his actions. But if a duel can help to set this state of affairs in order, I do not wish to be a mere...
There's no need to worry. We'll vouch for your innocence to the Tenryo Commission.
Thanks for your help. Oh no.
All right, then let's move. More Ronin could appear at in any case, for a final duel.
Fine warrior indeed, huh? Where you stuck up, boy? What's my fuck? Alright, I'm gonna cap on that bullshit. Alright, where do I need to go? You stuck on everything? What you mean by that? So you need to go to a higher...
A bit of the Crux clash.
You need to get to a higher AR to continue the story quest or something? Is that where you're stuck?
Yep, we still can't let our guard down. Even now, Paimon has a sneaking suspicion that... Still, even if he's way past... Are you ready?
Ready? Okay. Successor of
Amenoma art.
Honored to crossblade.
It is my honor.
Alright, throw your hands, bitch! Come on! Run your pockets! Oh, you missed, come here. You missed, bitch! Come here! You missed, come here! Bitch!
The wind knows. Time to go.
Oh, fuck. Alright. You got one hit in.
One with wind and cloud. The wind knows me.
So did you watch Genshin videos before, or you completely
For
blind?
the experience. Although he appears battered and broken, his sense of savage cruelty has...
You also fought well. There are a few things that I shall leave him.
I must apologize to you.
You need not seek my forgiveness. Nor do I... It is too late.
I do not wish for forgiveness. I only hope that you will see my transgressions as mine alone, and not let them stain the legacy of Ishin art. I strayed far from the straight and narrow path, but the Ishin art still has a worthy successor in Kaedehara Kazuha. I beseech you, please understand this.
Yes. I too trust Mr. Kaedehara to do the right thing.
Thank you, successor of Amenoma art.
This blade has also told me that he has another wish. He would like to visit the Amenoma smithy. Maybe we can go back there together.
Level 9 math.
What do you want to go there for?
I'm not sure, but I think that all this is about to come to an end.
You know, bro, stop capping. You have a bit more. Yeah, a bit more than level 9 if you got level 80 characters. Favorite past using the simulated universe?
It's Yuya!
Preservation,
You have
yeah.
returned.
I am sorry to have troubled you. It's all thanks to them that
A prized Ishin blade. Turned weapon that controls the human mind. Considering their forging philosophy, but I have some good news as well. Ryuji from the Bont...
Really?
Yes. Badly... And now that Yuya is back...
I think I know what you...
What's wrong, Kazuha? Is the blade whispering in your ear?
Yes. He said he wants to take control.
What? No way!
He tells me that he's thought of another way to fulfill his maker's wish. I have decided...
Bro, Kazuha's like, Kazuha's like, my balls, I got balls. I ain't raising no bitch.
Thank you. I will... Okay. I am ready. Let us begin. Please, stay true.
Get out of my face, bro. Back up. A whole ass cutscene.
My power is almost spent. Without him, my eventual demise is inevitable. But if I abandon the future to give everything I have in this moment, my physical form can be forged anew.
Everything? You mean...
Yes. The cost is my entire consciousness. You were right. There's nothing that I can accomplish now. But there's still a chance for Ishin art. Once remade, I will be a valuable resource for your studies. Ishin lives on, and its finest hour is yet to come. Even if I am not the one to prove its might to the Shogun, as long as it is an Ishin blade, crafted by Kaedehara hands, it will still fulfill his
Bro, sticking to the table.
Thank you, son of the Kaedehara clan. Over the years, my real name has been forgotten by all. I'm ashamed to utter it, yet it remains strong in my mind. Kagotsurube Ishin. This name is now yours to keep.
Bro, I'm feeling sad over a damn sword.
Rest in peace.
Bro, I want that sword.
So, that's why
No,
he
we
said it
should
had
not
to
kill
be done in that
Paimon.
order. His consciousness will disappear forever after fulfilling
Paimon is emergency
Bladesmith's
food. We
wish.
need her for emergencies.
Kagotsurube Ishin. It seems like deep down he disapproved of his only in the final moments.
Seems like he really...
The same fervent ambition that gave him the motivation to keep speaking for myself. I'd rather see him recognize and atone for his... I understand. Hearing his wish to rival the divine light touched some... Your quest to face the gods and trace your sibling inspires me after everything I've seen.
Oh,
I will continue to support you from this point on.
wait!
Oh, and it's also time to give him...
Alright, dialogue impact, let's go. For the god, man. Alright. Eleanor. 8-hour known people quest. Have you done it?
You've returned. I hear that the issue has been resolved. The Tenryou Commission has already attended to the danger at the warehouse. The investigation in Tom...
Wow, you sure...
Then we needn't recount all the details again. Now, as to your earlier offer, I wish to give you my answer.
What's this?
Kagotsurube Ishin. A weapon by means of a series of fortuitous events, I was able to recover. And so, it looks like I will likely continue with... The Kaedehara clan has always been a family of bladesmiths. Were I to accept your goodwill, I may find...
You misunderstand.
I am aware.
Very well. I can understand. However, if you should ever change your mind or find yourself in need of the show...
Great.
Where will you travel to?
I'll As for my next destination, let's see where the wind takes me.
Alright, you edgy ass motherfucker. But yeah, no, I wish that they gave like Kazuha a second skin where he uses the blade.
You questions after our last conversation with
Oh, wait. What the fuck is it? Oh my god. Kagotsurube. That's a tongue twister right there. Ishin. Susurube. That's a tongue twister. 9. No, don't cook Pama alive. Oh my god. She's a literal child and y'all want to kill her so bad. What is wrong with y'all? Bro, y'all need to calm down.
And as for your sister, so many questions. Let's go find Nahida and see what else we can find out.
Hold on, let me get that code from the 4.0 stream. Y'all need to calm down, Jesus.
Inactivity serves no purpose whatsoever.
Y'all damn cannibals. Come on, y'all need to calm down. Y'all need to stop. Get some help. Max, now you too. I hope y'all know that if you eat Paimon, you become Paimon. So, are you sure you want to eat Paimon? You'll be living with her voice in your head 24/7.
Come on, serious suggestions, please.
Well, if it's facts and logic you're after, you shot yourself in the foot with your choice of research topic, didn't you? The Tataris Suna mystery. When so much remains unexplained, there's little to be objective about. Unless...
Yeah, well, this is my teacher's area of research. I can't change that. But it's fascinating enough. I want to write my essay on something interesting, and...
Yes, you came to me. So all the more reason to take my advice. The fact is, it's the dramatization that will make...
Did one of them just mention Tataris Suna? But that's all the way... Is it just Paimon, or is it kinda unusual for someone in Sumeru to want to write a paper about that? Everyone here's
I had a burger,
going
bro.
about their business. Maybe it really is just Paimon. Guess people here are free to read. Great! Let's go find out what this Tataris Suna...
What are you calling a tablecloth, boy? No, 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 no. Back the hell up. You ain't eating nobody.
I guess I'll go with my textual criticism and your editorial direction for the first draft. I have a feeling that the missing Kabuki Mono will end up being the main focus of this paper. Ugh, if only we knew where to find that traveler. From what they say about him, this seems like the kind of thing he'd know about.
Oh, you're the traveler, you say?
Hey, what's with that face? Don't believe us?
No, of course I believe you. Actually, I first heard about your great exploits when I was still in Inazuma. This is my first time coming face to face with you and your mysterious silver-haired companion. I couldn't believe my luck, and out of force of habit, I started, examining the evidence. Sorry.
Oh, Sawada, for the love of... Sorry, we don't get out much, so our social skills are kinda lacking. Traveler, I hear you've helped many people a great deal and been to many places. Would you be able to tell us about Tatarasuna?
Actually, we don't know much about that place either. In fact, we only came over here because we heard you talking about it and wanted to learn more.
Ah, I see. My teacher chose this area of research as a personal
Bro,
challenge.
you down bad. You need to calm down.
Into because even Inazumans don't know much about Tatarasuna's past. But who'd have thought that...
If you don't mind, I'd love to show you all my outline for the book I'm writing about Tatarasuna.
Hold on, Sawada. Don't you think that's a bit of a deep dive or a first read?
Well, fair point. In that case, please ease yourselves in gently by taking a look at Akaba's latest essay draft.
Let me give you some background. This all started with the discovery of some records in Tatarasuna. The writings mentioned someone by the name of Mikoshi Nagamasa, who crafted a fine blade. But in the end, he threw it into a fire to destroy it, and killed his servant Katsuragi. Why? Well, no one knows. Apart from the swordmaker, his servant, and the one who wrote this all down, the records also mention a Kabuki Mono. This seems to be an Inazuman word for an eccentric stranger, someone who dresses funny or acts in an unusual way.
That's right. Akaba's teacher has spent quite some time researching these events on the ground. This Kabuki Mono lived in Tatarasuna for a while before disappearing without a trace, and shortly afterwards, as Akaba mentioned, things got pretty ugly.
So first this strange person goes missing, then a murder happens? Seems kind of fishy to Paimon.
Yes, my thoughts exactly. So I helped out too. I asked everyone I could think
could probably
of
kill
if they
us
knew
all.
anything about what happened back then. And wow, did I get lucky!
Stop shouting!
This part's important. I just wanted to make it stand out. It just so happens that a friend of mine works at the Government Records Office. He looked into it for me, and I can now confirm that all the aforementioned individuals did, in fact, even back then, Tatarasuna was already at the center of Inazuma's smelting industry. The man in charge was a government...
Wait, so there are two
That's right! What's more, Niwa is a name with a lot of history to it.
Oh, the swordsmiths? Yeah, like Ishin art and so on?
Wow, yes. You really know your stuff. That makes things easier.
The primordial
Niwa was
race.
a distant relative of the Kaidahara clan. Something then seems to have happened in the Kaidahara clan, leading to their downfall. I don't know the details, but taken in light of everything else going on around that time, it makes you wonder whether it's all connected.
The Kaidahara?
Sawada, you left out the biggest detail of all.
Oh, yes, of course. How could I forget? Brace your minds, ladies and gents, for they are about to be blown.
Get to the point.
According to information acquired by Akaba's teacher, the Kabuki Mono was not a
Puppet?
Aha! Judging by the looks.
No! Paimon just meant...
I agree, it does. But considering that non-human races in Inazuma are by no means uncommon...
Oh, hell nah. Oh, hell nah. I ain't reading that.
Oh, and please read my essay.
Fuck you.
Sawada was encouraging me to follow his more creative approach, but I think essays should be grounded. Oh, how about if I plug the holes in Sawada's narrative with political intrigue?
Wait, you're allowed to just make stuff up? Pretty sure...
Akaba, look. Your teacher has researched. Besides, if...
Good point.
We have some other stuff to...
All right, thank...
Hey, so that thing they were talking... Okay, then even if we... After all, we kicked his butt and got him locked up. If you ask Paimon, Akaba should just pick a different topic. There must be as many...
Oh, hello, motherfucker. What the...
Hey, did you see that? He literally just went by, over there. It looked like... the Balladeer! No, it can't have been. He got locked up. Oh, quick, let's catch up and see.
But it's obvious that Paimon is actually the sustainer of heavenly principles. Just like how Timmy is the god of Celestia. A cap. You know where you catch it, say that shit, cap.
Traveler, Paimon. Nahida! Bad news. We just saw, did he escape or... Ah! It's him!
Sure enough, you're here.
Cap.
Hey! What are you doing in the sanctuary of Surastana? Aren't you supposed to be locked up? I know you must have a lot of questions. Please, allow me to explain. It was my idea to set the Balladeer free. We made a deal, and he's gonna do some investigation in Irminsul for me. A deal? Huh. You sure you trust this guy?
What did you expect?
Okay,
Why do you think
bye-bye,
Sumero
Eleanor.
would keep me around
Eleanor.
otherwise?
Thanks for
Or
stopping
maybe
by.
killing me is all you can think about. But if that's the case, why haven't you done it already?
Don't flatter yourself. It was... Nahida said there's still some mysteries in you to figure out.
Ah, so if it were up to you, you'd finish the job? Guess I had you all wrong. There I was thinking you were just getting cold feet.
Well, that escalated quickly. Not a good start. Could I ask you all to please calm down? But Paimon's worried about you, Nahida. Don't let him trick you.
It's not every day you see people questioning the God of Wisdom's judgment. Just when you think you've seen it all.
Don't you dare try to drive a wedge between us! As long as the terms are reasonable, I don't think there's a problem in making a deal. Even with the Balladeer.
Well, I for one have no reason to doubt you. Considering you even struck a deal with the doctor.
Yes, one in which I gained valuable information. You'll come to understand more about that in the fullness of time. The Balladeer's power was all but completely spent after your battle. He's no longer strong enough to be a strategic threat to us. Plus, he's a former Harbinger with knowledge of many of the Fatui's sensitive secrets. being stuck here in Sumeru could make him a sitting duck, depending on how— Wait a second. Farmer? I take no pleasure in saying this, but it seems as if the doctor had no intention of welcoming back a loser, so...
Damn! Damn! But it's... Oh, damn! They did Scar in this dialogue right here.
Sometimes it's you using them, other times it's them using you.
But you
Most human
just know this Scar.
relationships
You
are this
ain't a
way.
true Scar fan.
Certainly all the stable ones are. That's how it was between me and the Fatui, and also between each of the Harbingers. So as long as you have some value to offer, nobody will ever abandon you. But after recent events, even I... Well, if the Fatui are gonna reevaluate...
As we discussed, I don't like causing harm to living beings, and...
I think these two have made their objection to that idea fairly clear. Don't you? And they're your...
Yeah, obviously! Don't listen to him! Then let's put that discussion to the side for now. Today can be a trial run. Where we...
All right.
Good. Go now, and keep in touch.
But now he does such a mom right now.
Are you serious about... Yes. I have my reasons for this decision. In fact, yes. As I told you once before, there's... Oh, yeah. Actually, that's the whole... Mm-hmm. You may remember me mentioning that the Fatui had not included your twin's details in the Descender category. It's possible that the Fatui have other information that even I don't know about. He was granted the power to connect with Irminsul when he almost became the god of a new era. The amount of information in Irminsul is vast beyond description. Sifting through, so I asked the Balladeer to search in Irminsul for any information about the Descenders. Exactly! Or what if... Paimon just doesn't trust him! He's treated us as enemies every time we've... I understand. But sometimes, everything is dictated by which side you're on. How things will go in the future depends on what information he brings back. Our minds have connected several times before. There is a corner of your heart reserved for an intense longing. As Sumeru's deity, it is my responsibility to be on guard against the Balladeer. But as someone who counts you as a friend, I want to do something for you. If this deal with the Balladeer can give you the answers you've been longing to find, then it's worth it. It's my pleasure, really. You're Sumeru's hero. You've more than earned it. Paimon's still worried about this idea. Is there anything we can do to help? I was going to contact you about that, but then you suddenly showed up on your own accord. Seems like we have a telepathic connection. In fact, I was going to ask you to supervise the Balladeer on my... Even though he only has a fraction of his full power left, that's still a fraction of a former Harbinger. Of course, I'll be there to help guide you through Irmin's... Great. Prepare yourself. Wow, it looks pretty different here compared to last time. The colors are gentler. Guess that must be because Sumeru's at peace now.
He's busy partaking a little lesson in blasphemy.
Look at that. Hot on my heels. You know, you didn't have to cut your catch-up short just to keep me company. Oh, but I guess you
Shut your beak, jailbird! No way a prisoner gets to be so smug!
I understand that prisoners have to put up with harassment from the guards. But right now, I'm on temporary release. So maybe you should think about backing off a little.
Sounds like a successful rendezvous. I need to be quite clear about something. In a few moments, unlike anywhere else, Irminsul's inner region consists exclusively... I know there are many grievances between you on both... Fine. Let's call it truce. But only...
Let's cut each other a little slack, shall we? Per my agreement with Lesser Lord Kusanali, I'll be at the front. It's my job to lead the way and get rid
Why
of
are they
any
still calling her
obstacles in
Lesser
our
Lord
path.
Kusanali?
All you
Should
have
you
to
be
do
Greater Lord
is
Kusanali
keep
or just
your pretty eyes
Kusanali?
open and try not to fall behind.
You sure are confident. Paimon will give you that. You make it sound—
If there are no further objections, I suggest we get going. Or did you need some time to mentally prepare yourselves?
Ew! Ugh, the snark on this guy. It's unbearable.
We can start now.
Irminsul. Is this a small sapling? Oh, darn it! Come on, let's catch up with him. Wow. So this is the inside of Irminsul. Ooh. Paimon's never seen anything like this.
Irminsul is closely intertwined with the entirety of Teyvat. Every bit of information flowing here means something. Pick your jaws up off the floor.
Why is it that Paimon just wants to do the opposite of
Lesser Lord Kusanali, we will now proceed to the—
Can you still sense where the heart of Irminsul is?
Yes. Permission to begin—
Permission granted.
Let's go.
Hey, so...
I was just imagining the look on your travel companion's face if you went and got lost.
This is what you and Eleanor wanted.
Anything's possible in here. You can't rule anything out.
These sapling things have spread out.
Those are all packets of information from inside Irminsul. Be careful not to touch them.
It looks the same in every direction. No wonder he mentioned about getting lost. Huh. What do you know? He was actually telling the truth. Is he mocking me again? What is it this time?
There's a time and a place to lie, but this definitely isn't it. So why don't you relax your guard a little? We're here.
What a huge tree!
Lesser Lord Kusanali,
Good, you made it. Are you ready?
ready when you are.
Then please begin. Preparing to access cognitive currents.
The Balladeer's actually doing what Nahida tells.
The rest is up to you. If you discover—
Will do.
Huh. For once, we're the ones with nothing to—
Traveler, Paimon. Yes, I've also known about—
Huh? What the? We can talk to each other inside our heads?
That's part of it. Plus, we're up—
Paimon's never tried this before. So, Paimon's been wanting to ask you something. Don't you think the Balladeer's a bit of a walking contradiction? He's always talking back, but he seems—
As I've told you before, there are still some mysteries for him to resolve. Things that are clear as day to me, but that perhaps today will be the day that he finds some answer. Well done. Smart and— So, you made contact with that part of his mind.
Huh. Paimon thought nothing could get under that guy's skin. Turns out, he can get hurt.
Everyone has a history, Paimon.
Speaking of puppets, we ran into two people at the Academia today talking about an essay.
If you mean the mysterious events, the Kabuki Mono and so on, yeah.
Really? Because from what they were saying, it sounded like lots of Tatara Suna's history is still—
Oh? How interesting. Those two managed to deduce quite a lot through.
So the Gase got it.
Well, they guessed right about.
Must be a riveting conversation you three are having. Funny how all the good ones happen when I'm not in. Don't insult me. You're having a private conversation without me. Obviously, I must be the topic of said conversation. Of course you do. You can't have.
So.
Still looking. Don't get your hopes up, though. You and your twin come from outside this world. It wouldn't surprise me if there was nothing on.
Wait! How did you know?
It's not like we've never met before. And anyway, you're world famous. It'd be more surprising if I didn't know a few things about you. Right now, we have to keep the peace. I'm not interested in creating more misery for myself. And making Huh?
This light. It looks.
Anonymous data.
Hey! Don't you forget the agreement.
Shh!
Mr. Niwa, are you certain this is worth the risk? We are talking about Tatara Suna's furnace, after all.
There's no one else who can enter the furnace.
Is that so?
It's...
Whoa!
I have been in Tatara Suna for some time now. You have shown me great hospitality, as has Mikoshi Nagamasa. Under your leadership, Tatara Suna is a warm, welcoming place. As I understand, the Raiden Shogun has, in recent years, eliminated much of the evil that plagued the forging industry with crystal marrow as a raw material, has since flourished, giving rise to generate skills, blood, dreams. Every smith brought into this trade looks to find—
Yes, well, were it not for you coming to Inazuma and happening to make Akame's acquaintance, the two of you never would have joined forces. And he would be the first to admit that there's no way he could have revolutionized our forging process like this. You allowed Akame to take all the credit for a method that you jointly developed. He sold it to me, and now every piece of ore here is smelted using— Even now, you remain one of Tatara Suna's key consultants, working—
You flatter me. From the outset, I saw much that was commendable in the forging industry of Inazuma. And it has been my great honor to befriend you all.
So you say, Escher. But is this really the truth?
My good sir.
I tried to resist thinking it was all connected. Because I didn't want to speculate. What have we gained from adopting your new technology? Ominous black smoke? Mounting production problems? Worker fatigue? And recently, as you well know, someone died because of that strange filth inside the furnace. None of the people who went out to get help have come back. Now, our mutual friend, the Kabuki Mono, is taking the Golden Feather to Narukami Island. But that doesn't faze you, does it, Escher? Nothing does.
I'm just surprised that you finally chose to be so sincere.
Mikoshi Nagamasa may have noticed that there was one common denominator among all these events. Namely you, Escher.
After all, Nagamasa is the adopted son of Mikoshi Torachiyo, the yokai struck down by the Shogun's own hand. If he truly seeks to redeem his family's honor...
You're well informed on the subtleties of his situation for a mechanic all the way from Fontaine.
Why, Mr. Niwa, are you suggesting I find a—
Enough! I'm here because an evil force is raging inside the furnace. And someone needs to take your new device inside the high-risk zone so we can absorb it. I'm in charge here. And I'm about to take some responsibility and head inside. Probably—
Judging from the look in your eyes—
Drop the act! We're past that now. Whoever you are, it looks like your plan to destroy Tatara Suna has— I just want to know what you're still doing here. What's left? Don't you have all your answers by now?
Honestly, I'm just waiting for the right moment. A moment like this.
Damn.
Where you finish talking and I stop you from
You...
You're a little smart. I thought I'd disguised myself exceptionally well. At least for the first few days. But it's a long journey from Inazuma to Fontaine, but that didn't stop them. Eventually, they managed to confirm that, and yet, despite all of that, you still fail to realize my true identity.
If you kill me, there's no one who can get inside.
Oh, but you're quite wrong. There is one other person. Some may not see him as a person.
Whoever you're working for won't get away with this. They'll...
It's no trouble at all. Patience is a virtue which I have
This
in
man sounds like
abundance.
the Tory.
This is all part of a carefully... If you must know, I'm happy to divulge my true
Oh, it is the
identity.
Tory. Oh, shit.
I'm a Fatui harbinger. Call me the Doctor.
The Fatui?
Just to create a minor inconvenience.
That's it. That's why you...
Look how even the righteous soul is filled. My device functions precisely as you say. It is easier for a person to be possessed by evil spirits when they are filled with hate. So give in to your fury. I want to see what happens when a malevolent heart... Make no mistake, even without you, that pure, innocent puppet would only end up being used by someone else in...
If you give him, he has nothing to prove to anyone.
What a beautiful way to see the world. It almost makes me feel a little guilty. Think of me as a monster or a demon, if you wish. At least this way your death is not a I say, Mr. Niwa, let's see what happens. Will your puppet friend be Mr. Niwa? Already dead. What a pit. Jester, I have completed the task you gave me. Creating a gap and infiltrating Inazuma's... I'd like to introduce a puppet to you. If he proves use...
Hey.
Dottore. Dottore! Good.
Was that the doctor? Did he turn into a mechanic from Like, why did we see...
When I touched the doctor to confirm whether he'd eliminated all his segments,
Maybe so, but
Does it? But this memory shows that Niwa didn't betray you. He never meant for you to be the one to take the device into the furnace. You know very well what that means. Even more so than I.
Let's give him some space. He looks really mad. Paimon doesn't want to be anywhere near him right now.
Ooh. Oh, sorry about that. I was cleaning my glasses.
We need to give him some time to process his emotions.
Paimon's still confused about the Tatarasuna incident. So, the doctor was behind it, but why has that gotten him so worked up?
Nobody has ever deceived you like that, Paimon. It's natural that you find it difficult to understand. Perhaps he needed to learn this someday, so now you have the complete picture. Katsuragi took the Kabuki Mono to live with the people of Tatar. It was all a horrific experiment planned by the doctor. Everything he did was just to plant seeds of disaster in Inazuma. Of all the unwitting participants in the doctor's experiment, after the events you just saw in that memory, the doctor put Niwa's heart into the device and handed it to the balladeer.
Bro, stop with the Paimon head.
Then, he instructed him to enter the furnace and absorb all the filth caused by this. The load was far beyond what he expected, but the balladeer survived. He left the furnace, the mechanic answered. Niwa fled this place for fear of punishment, but he left you a gift. The mechanic removed the withered heart from the balladeer was stunned that such unthinkable cruelty had brought him the thing he'd been longing for his entire life. A heart acquired through... He thought Niwa had completely betrayed him, and yet this very betrayal had ensured his survival. Overwhelmed...
Holy moly. So the doctor...
Yes. Only if you understand...
Dotori, you brazen-faced... Niwa didn't run from justice. You killed him.
Calm down with the Paimon head, bro. Calm yourself. Pace yourself before you erase yourself, huh?
Shall we see how he's doing? Hey, you alright? That's a scary expression.
Are you worried about me? If we didn't have such a history, I'd almost think that qualifies. It won't.
Hey, are you investigating the stuff we want to know?
That's why we're here. But unfortunately, there's no information about the Descenders and...
Even if you can't find anything, that seems to confirm it. Irminsul does not keep records on the Descenders. Anyone who comes from beyond this world is not...
Oh, does that mean we have to leave empty-handed?
Don't thank me, just... you look really upset. Well...
Huh? About what?
The reason why there are records about your sister in Irminsul. It might have something to do with Conria. Plus, she only came to this world because the heavens...
The heavens...
The Jester told me this himself. You can take his word on this. He was a royal mage in Conria, and lived with your... I don't know the details. It's up to you whether you want to believe... Did you get all that, Lesser Lord Kusanali?
Yes.
Does this info count towards my mission? It wasn't from Irminsul.
Very valuable.
Good. In that case, I'll take some time for myself.
Huh? What?
Lesser Lord Kusanali was right. My power's all but completely spent. I shared a secret with you, and now you owe me. So in return, give me your hand.
Touch my body.
Can you hear my voice inside your head? No, I can't do anything like that anymore. So tell me, in this world, is it possible to change the past?
Calm down.
Done.
Huh? What the?
Nothing. I was just thanking him for helping. So long. I suggest you get yourselves out of here quickly.
Where are you going? Hey, wait up! Didn't you say not to go running off?
Fast reaction time. But I don't think we'll be seeing each other again. From this day forth, The names Balladeer and Kabukimono will cease to exist. Those who died in Tatarasuna because of me deserve another chance at life.
It don't work like that, Scara.
Balladeer, don't do anything stupid!
You know, I never did like insects. Hordes of the puny things swarming together can be a real nuisance. But if a colony of harmless ants isn't threatening anyone, I guess they deserve to be left alone. Luckily...
Balladeer! Uh-oh, he disappeared! Oh no, he's really gone!
Oh, can you hear me?
Nahida!
Traveler, Paimon, Balladeer, what happened?
It was the Balladeer's fault. He shut you out!
I didn't think he'd be capable of something like... Did he keep some of his power hidden when he was defeated? Or...
Where the heck did he go? Ugh, it's all our fault. We were supposed to keep an eye on him. Sorry, Nahida.
Don't be. It's not your fault. We're running out of time. Follow my lead.
We're out! And we're at...
This is an emergency. I'll have to ask you to stay here for now. Everything's arranged, and nobody will disturb you. I'm sorry, but this isn't something I need.
An emergency? How bad is it? Nahida, will you be okay?
Don't worry. If my assessment is correct, though there may be some minor disturbances...
Her voice has gone. Paimon can't shake the feeling that something really big has happened. What do you think the Balladeer meant? And... He wants to change the past? But surely that's impossible! Right! You can't just rewrite history. It's like, imagine Paimon drank all the water in this inn. So, why does Paimon's... Paimon's... Huh? Ah! Sorry. Paimon accidentally... But erasing yourself from history? It's unthinkable. Is that really possible in Irminsul? Uh-oh. Paimon's had... Paimon's had it with that little brat. He's been nothing... There's no way he'll actually succeed, right? Otherwise, won't everyone who... There's nothing we can do about it at this point. Hey, have you got any ideas on what we should do next? Seems like now there's nothing left for us to do but to go to sleep. But Paimon's still so worried. Paimon won't... So...
Paimon's annoying because you're letting her annoy you.
We list all our favorite foods to take our mind off things. Heck, if that doesn't work, Paimon's probably gonna collapse of anxiety here. Alright, Paimon will start. First dish. Munstack grilled fish. Oh, and chicken and Drayan chili chicken. Oh, also a... What do we... Paimon was, talking? balladeer? Is that a food too? Huh. Weird. What's wrong? Your eyes are like saucers. Was it something Paimon said? So, the balladeer. Okay, sure. Where are we? Huh? Fine by Paimon, but is everything okay? You're acting like...
Bro, calm down. You are talking about a child here. Why you wanna wish all this shit on a child? What was that?
Ah, it's been a while. Of course. Go ahead. Oh. Now there's a question I wasn't expecting.
She doesn't have a family, bro.
Well, I'll tell you what I know. The once renowned Raiden Goku, the art of forging practiced by these 5 clans, most of the great swordsmith clans of old, but fortunately, Kaedehara Kazuha recently returned, if my memory serves me right.
Oh, yeah, we learned a bit about the decline of the Raiden Gokuden then, too.
In fact, this was not made known to me. He told me that, as we are both heirs to a branch of the... There is no harm in telling you, the Raiden Gokuden were the targets of a...
Vengeful?
400 years ago, so I'm told, there was a catastrophic malfunction in Tatarasuna's furnace. One brave swordsmith heard the commotion and chose not to flee. But he rushed. Tatarasuna was home to a state-of-the-art forging and smelting operation in that day. And overseeing it was the armory officer. His surname was Niwa. Knowing that they had just one chance to save countless lives, the smith's death, though heroic in his heart, the whole lived powerless and destitute, alas. If only the story could have ended finally, in his fury. But when he came, that is why the
Was there anything else you wanted to ask?
Kazuha? My pleasure.
Don't tell Paimon. On to the next.
Bro, I swear, Paimon's gonna end up being the final boss. And everyone's gonna regret hating on her, calling her emergency food and hoping she dies and shit. Playable Paimon win. Polar and Paimon win.
We're here!
Traveler, it's been a while. If you're looking for the Commissioner and Miss Kamisato, I'm afraid...
What kind of voice does this big bulky ass man have?
Here right now.
Are they out on business?
The Commissioner is out on business, and Miss Kamisato is standing in for some meetings in the Commissioner...
What do you think? Shall we go in?
If it were anyone else, I couldn't allow it.
We'll be heading in then.
Hello, dears. Is there something... Of course, traveler. What would you like to know? Oh, they're both very well indeed. Lately, as for the commissioner himself, well, you know.
So pretty much
Very much.
Well, got any more questions?
You're very welcome. In fact, I would love nothing more than for you to come and visit more often. But I'm sure you must be far too busy to have Miss Kamisato talks about you all the time. She seems so thrilled, I must say. Many things in Inazuma seem to have taken a turn for the better since you arrived here. So you're not just Miss Kamisato.
Alright, goodbye for now. We're, great. Goodbye, ma'am. Don't worry,
All right.
Oh, are you two leaving already?
Yep, everything's
Very well.
Y'all have way too much Paimon hate, I swear to God. You just go sell out your cat like that, bruh.
Well, here we are.
Do my eyes deceive?
Xavier, what are you doing here?
Xavier,
I
that's
was
how
in
you
the
pronounce
general
that?
area, and now I'm in this specific area. There, that's me.
We have some questions and thought you might be able to help.
Certainly do. I've researched the furnace. If there's anything you want to know, just ask away. Like the back of my hand. Not only that, but I've met people in Inazuma whose families used to live in Oh, well, it's a long story, don't you know?
Bruh, cats have claws. Of course she scratched you. There ain't no reason to sell her out to God, though.
Goes back around 1,000 years. Still, the furnace has had a couple of serious maintenance issues along the way.
A couple?
One was just in the last few years, the other was several hundred years ago. A fun fact, I'm not... They say he was a mechanic who consulted on a technology upgrade. It seems like the tech...
Hey, weren't you gonna ask Xavier something about the...
Oh, I didn't realize...
Me neither. Paimon doesn't know what's gotten into this one today. Feels like we've been preparing for...
What brought this on? Did you just wake up today with a sudden... Sure, go ahead. A kabuki moan? I do know the word. Inazuman for those eccentric types who always go around dressed to the nines. But sadly, I've never had the pleasure, nor have I come across anything. Of course!
Oh, we're leaving?
Oh, you're most welcome. Farewell.
Looks like you got all the information you're looking for. Sure, but keep your smile, Spinal Crocodile. No matter
Spinal
what
Crocodile.
happens, Paimon will always... Hey.
See?
Right.
Paimon's good. Paimon's always gonna be there for me. Especially when I cry over a sad robot crab cutscene. Yeah, I might be stopping in a minute here. It's getting pretty late and I'm getting pretty tired.
Hey, it's them!
Akaba, Sawada, you're still here?
Indeed we are. If you have a
We have time. What
It's the same topic we just...
Still looking for more info about Tatara Suna, huh?
Unfortunately, we haven't made any real progress. Huh?
Blah 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 blah. Blah 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 blah.
I presume you'll want to read mine as well.
Well, what do you think?
Hey, Traveler. Remember how last time Akaba was saying how he wished he could gather more information?
What did you find out?
It's a long story. Basically...
Wow, so many new details. Thank you so...
Well, well. So it all comes down to one man's desire for revenge. Huh. Ugh.
So this new information actually lends further credence to my hypothesis. Evidently, swordsmiths were seen as having an incredibly prestigious role in society.
Yes, okay, point taken, you were right. But that doesn't mean I can't carry on with my novel.
And they're back at it.
Oh, so sorry. Look at us, prattling.
You're welcome.
Keep us in the loop if you find out...
Will do. Nahida, we're here!
Traveler, Paimon, how have you been?
Ugh, where to start? Paimon hasn't had a moment's rest this
Alright,
whole
night,
time.
Mason.
That night, we ended up chatting and chatting until suddenly the sun was up. And then
Should be on
he
tomorrow.
decided he wanted to go
For
to
more,
Inazuma.
for more grinding.
The balladeer? You look troubled. Traveler?
Hey, what's wrong?
That's quite... So, this puppet known as...
But how is...
As the Traveler said, he very nearly became Sumeru's deity. Admittedly, I remember it nevertheless. It does make sense.
So, you believe this person really existed?
Yes. Theoretically speaking, it is possible to do this. But I'm struggling to imagine the kind of person the Traveler comes from a world beyond to that. That's why So if there's anyone in the world capable of retaining memories from a past...
Paimon's having a hard time understanding...
I can only make inferences based on the information we've been given. Something else worrying you? Something that you can't share? It couldn't change the fate of the ones who had... Once the balladeer realized he hadn't been betrayed after all, he couldn't keep hating humans after that. And if the story makes sense, the balladeer tried to achieve godhood with the doctor's help. That power then enabled him to change what was recorded in Irminsul.
Yeah, it does make sense. It just feels so hopeless. He came...
Please wait a moment. Found it. This should be the one. It turns out that I have a...
What is it?
A record from a personal collection. You should take a look.
Is this a fairy tale?
I authored this record myself.
Huh? You?
When combined with the Traveler's narrative, it's...
Hold on. So this...
Yes. Any information about the Balladeer or the changing the information in Irminsul changes to that. But Irminsul can't change information that was well hidden in advance. I guess I must have written...
That's incredible!
And sending the Traveler into Irminsul with the Balladeer must have been a further precaution. This story is abstract enough that it still resonates with the present But if we connect all the different pieces together, the true story that emerges is the one... There was once a lone monster draped in fox fur. Once in a while, the monster would take off its fox fur. But the monster soon found solace when another came to live among the foxes who was not their kin. A kitten, carved from the wood of a white tree, who had been abandoned by the humans. The kitten too wished to become a fox, but its tail was too slender, and it could not grow a coat of richly colored fur. Yet when the other foxes saw... Furious at this happy resolution, the monster lit a fire on the mountain. The terrified animals panicked as a gray fox stood up and addressed the monster. It said, "You are the cleverest of..." The monster smiled, led the fox toward the fire, and murdered it. The gray fox's heart was turned into a beautiful... The monster gave the heart of water to the kitten, telling him, "The foxes have decided. You are the..." The fire was extinguished, but the kitten lived. The two promised they would spend their whole lives together, but the little bird did not have long left to live. It passed away soon after. Never again would it cherish a single creature, nor a single blade of grass. How it wished to swallow the moon and devour the moonlight. If the... I will become the new moon, the answer...
We solved it!
I remember now. This is not just the Balladeer sword to become a god. He was experimented on, and this memory was extracted from him by the scholars. Creating a deity was just the first step. I buried it deep inside one of my own dreams, and then...
It's hard to believe that this person really existed. Paimon has no memory of him at all.
The Balladeer agreed to help me look for information about the Descenders, and before he vanished, he confirmed an important detail. We still don't know how the change to Irminsul will...
It sounds like Paimon wouldn't like this guy a whole lot if he was still around.
This is why wisdom alone cannot answer all our questions. We look,
Nah,
we see,
man.
and we comprehend. But so the answer is not everything. People, when you give someone the truth, you give them a chip to others looking on. This may seem like a pointless endeavor. Never forget that even when we walk beneath dark clouds along a road filled with suffering, and that is what you have been doing all along.
Yeah, Nahita's right. Cheer up. How about...
Good idea.
You got it. Come on, Traveler. You need to get out of your... Let's go get a snack from one of the stalls in the Grand Bazaar. That'll be...
But damn, man, you got here late, boy.
It's really tough being the only one who remembers all that. But Paimon's always here to help cheer you up.
You're telling me I've done over 100 pulls and I haven't got Farazan once? Damn. Was she? Or Farazan? She might have been. But I've only been playing on this account for the past like month or month and a half. I lost my main and so I had to resort to a backup.
There is no escape.
But I didn't think you'd be getting on tonight.
Stabilize.
Shine down.
Gather.
This way, pretty little.
Into the wind.
Order guide you.
Commit it to memory.
Inazuma shines eternal.
I will have order. Solidify.
The wind moves.
Grow, grow, grow.
Ryan, how do you always show up just when I'm about to get off, bro? Hello, Ryan, you still there or you dead?
Opening a chest is like unwrapping a gift.
Insolent. There is no escape. Shine down! One with nature.
You still there, Ryan? Or nah? Alright, well, since nobody's here anymore and Ryan's gone, obviously. I am going to stop here for tonight. If there is anybody here, thanks for stopping by, and I'll be on streaming tomorrow. Let me just